Cool. Hi everyone who is watching this, whether you're watching this back or I've ideally released the game or whatever, or you've seen some of my other updates. Um, I've been silently working on this game called Archeology Rush for the better part of about 6 months now, closer to probably 8, 9 months. And it's still very much in a development phase, like alpha phase. But I've decided that I'm going to start weekly playtesting the game and releasing it so that it's there as a record. I was beforehand doing like monthly update videos, but I think I'm going to stop doing that and start doing this because I feel like this will be more conducive to actually releasing the game in the long term, as those update videos take quite a lot to put out, and I'm largely just doing this for myself. And if anybody comes along for the ride, then wonderful. So, what is Archaeology Rush? If you haven't seen the update video from previous, that's fine. Archaeology Rush is a 1 to 4 player puzzle platformer that's sort of cooperative and competitive. Concept is you're discovering a tomb in Egypt for the first time. And as you know, there are 2 ways as an archaeologist you can become famous: by discovering something for the first time and being the first, and also to hoard artifacts and take them back to the British Museum. And so that's the kind of concept, is that you are trying to become the rich and famous archaeologist and become the most famous archaeologist versus your friends. In short, that's the kind of elevator pitch for the game. I'm going to be using these playtests just really to try and kind of come up with notes and point myself in the direction where I can improve it. The core of the game is there, and the intention is to turn this into a demo and then eventually release the game for a paid audience. What you're seeing here is the title screen. There's no music and there's no sounds, which is kind of my first big problem. Is that I kind of need to get some sound into the game. Music, I'm less worried about right now, but I think at some point I'm going to just pay somebody to make some music or work collaboratively with other people. Now, these grey squares you're seeing is another issue with the game, which is I haven't done the art for the characters yet. You'll see when you get in that the art is there, but the menu screen art isn't. In fact, this menu screen is more of a block out of how I want this to look. The whole game kind of has this pixel art design, and I'm not the greatest artist, but it's definitely, these projects are, my intention is to really kind of just get better, pursue more, just get better at the skills like game design and game development. I've a little bit about me is that I'm a game programmer first. I work professionally as a game programmer, gameplay programmer, more in gameplay systems. So I wanted to create a player controller and wanted to do all of that. That I'm sort of never really approached before, as I normally kind of do health systems and navigational systems or just more generalist work in my day job. Whereas what I really love is making video games. So, right, let's actually play. There's controller support. So I'm going to be playing on a controller, but my mic setup isn't great, so you'll probably hear the click-clack of the controller. So we'll select a player and then we can start. So I will rope my partner and other people in for playtests in this game as it comes on. But the single player is a kind of time rush of these puzzles. So the puzzles may generally work. You stand on a switch and door open. So, and then you have to run to the end. Now, some of this, I've been moving things around for some lighting. So I added in lighting recently. And whilst I think it looks amazing, Performance-wise, it definitely takes a hit, and there are some things that are just not moved around. As you can see, there's this treasure in the background. Now, so I hit a problem now, which is that switch was not meant to be pressed, so this door closed. It was originally open. So I'm going to have to respawn in the level to reset the level to start. Now, I don't really like this as a design. And also there's a bug there where I'm taking, if you might have noticed, I can duplicate treasure. So we need to rethink that. And no respawn if possible, even if it means getting rid of this level, because I think it goes counter to what I'm trying to do. I mean, I appreciate that I've tried to add in these symbols to try and say, hey, this is what you should do. I think what doesn't help is the movement also of the character isn't really conducive. You can jump and you can move across, and you've got this light which looks cool, but yeah. So right, let's finish this round. That's round 2. Now this is like think of like logical stuff. You've got an and. Now I didn't pick that up because my inventory is full, and I don't like the idea of a full inventory. But I also think it adds something in terms of for multiple players. So I think it's just one of those disconnects where you're playing something one player and playing something for 2 players and 3 players and 4 players, and that just is, it's just different. Your design has to be different, and there is a chance that I just get rid of this one player mode in the future. So as you go on, the level kind of expands and grows, and so you kind of have more sort of parkour and more symbols, and who knows what these symbols actually kind of mean. And I'm just terrible. Now I have added some like coyote time, so that if you fall off, you can still jump for a little bit extra. But yeah, I don't know. It's not. I feel like the player controller does not necessarily feel as fun as it could do to move. One of the things that I've been thinking about is to add like a slide mechanic would be a little bit more fun, like a dash or a slide. Fun. If I'm taking notes just down here, this is why I'm not playing. Dash or slide. As I say, these videos are mainly primary for me to work out what I don't like about the game and really get an understanding. So, this is weird. This is a 3-section puzzle. And if you don't know the answer, I'm left away now. The intention is that in the long run, these levels will be randomly generated. And the levels that exist now are kind of more like a demo and will form more of a kind of, what's the word? More of a sort of tutorial. But yeah, so we've got another parkour level here. And sort of gets a little bit tighter. And actually the game is holding up. I made some performance improvements over the last week. And the game is actually really holding up. The lighting system is a lot better. Turns out, so I had every solid tile is an occluder. So this game's being worked on in Godot. And so yeah. And now here's a mechanic that we don't necessarily have the art for at the moment, but it's one of the more interesting mechanics where you have to pay a toll to open the door at the end. But this level probably should be a little bit tighter. Yeah. I'll try over the next kind of bits, try and record some levels. So this is another of my favourite levels. It's called the fog level, and I probably need to add in the fog art. But this does the job for the minute. A lot of this is just trying to get the demo, and you can see just the art that I added in for fog. And so the whole point is trying to kind of just stumble around and work out what's going on. Annoyingly, and I know the answer to these levels. And this is the main reason as to why I want to add in kind of some random levels in. But I want to get the demo done first. And the other thing is I want to add in some slopes and slats so I can just improve the level design. It does not feel fun to not be able to just go up slopes and have to jump up them. Additionally, there are some treasures up here. So, yeah. You can see the UI for the inventory is bugged out at the moment, so we're going to have to fix that. UI. Right. Yeah, I've scheduled a couple of playtests with friends. Now, probably need more access, more kind of like just repetition. Now, as you see here, some of the treasure was put down because a head was picked up. A head for these organ jars, which I have to admit the art is not amazing for, but it's very much temporary and does not fit necessarily in what we have at the moment. But yeah, so the aim for this puzzle is just to pick up the organ jars and place them on the appropriate head. And I think one of the things this game needs is just a little bit of variety. Like the actual fundamental composition is, I think, could be improved on, but it's not awful. And so here we're in the last level. We finally got to the sarcophagus, which I kind of want to be this kind of grand situation. And then the level kind of melts away. And I need to do the art for this, and you get to the big boss. Now, in the main game, there are going to be multiple different bosses, but for the minute, we just have the big heart. And I think one of the things that I want to try and get across during gameplay is this kind of like almost supernatural level. I want this kind of corruption to run through level, but I need a palette for the corruption. Now that's a bug as well. For some reason we seem to go to another level after the end. Okay, that can be fixed up. I'll put this through onto Trello afterwards. And the UI is completely bugged out now. So yeah, that's the game. We did it in 9 minutes and 7 seconds, which is not bad for me narrating and trying to explain some of this. I'm going to do another playtest next week, and thank you for watching. And subscribe if you want to follow the development of this game. I think this will be kind of something that I can keep up with between my day job and between actually wanting to spend time working on the game. I think doing a playtest a week, whether it's with my partner or drag a friend round or something. That being said, I don't think I'll probably do one next week as I'm off on holiday, which is lovely. But yeah, I'll try and get one in the week after. Yeah, and certainly just for something at the very least for me to look back and go, look at the progress that's made. So yeah, thanks for watching and have a good week, or in this case 2.